What is up, my dear people and nerds? We're back with another review for you, and this time it's on, as we got quite the product on our workbench, and it ain't no budget or mid-tier purchase this time. No, ladies and gents, we went all out with this one. So, join us as we review the Asus Rog Falchion, another fine addition to Asus's keyboard lineup. At first glance, you can see this is one of those mini keyboards, and this time I will be giving you more of a personal, subjective experience rather than stats and charts like I usually do. As part of the package, aside from the side stuff, which I will be mentioning later, they did not include a keycap puller, and this is an absolute must-have for anyone who owns a mechanical keyboard. This truly grinds my gears, as it does fall in the premium price range and costs nearly $150. I was digging through the box like a madman, thinking that the puller was lying hidden somewhere, but nah. They simply didn't care to include it, and I am not the only wacko here, as I did check a bunch of other sites just in case. As you can probably tell from the footage, it is a wireless keyboard that comes with a 1.8 meter or 5'9" cable, which is sort of the industry standard nowadays. There's the dongle and the polycarbonate chassis, which you can use to avert the dust, I guess. Does look cool though, I have to admit. Now, let's do a rundown starting with the aesthetics of the board. On paper, we could call this a 60% keyboard, but for the artsy types, like myself, it is a 65% board as it does have one column more. The smaller size of the keyboard suits my taste, though it all depends on what you're used to. Standardly, the additional functions can be accessed by pressing the function key combined with the desired action. The button placement is also fairly decent, so you won't sprain your ankles or break a finger while trying to do something as simple as changing the volume. In terms of the design itself, I can tell you that Asus did a great job, as the keyboard is both functional and compact at the same time. It's a frameless design, which is great for those who don't need additional functions on their board and opt for practicality. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems that the keyboard has a mixed layout, sporting both the ANSI and ISO layout. I am mentioning this as you might have trouble finding replacement keys, especially for enter, space, and backspace. On the backside of the board, there are 4 rubber feet, which are, you guessed it, there to keep the keyboard from flying away while you're raging at your teammates. You can also use the rubber adjusters if you prefer to increase the height of the keyboard. Honestly, they don't work as intended, as the board did wiggle around while I was using them. They are durable though, and won't break even when excessive force is used. At the top side, there's the USB-C slot and the useless on-off switch. Yes, I said useless, as you can turn on the keyboard's sleep mode after you install the software. In terms of battery life, it did an okay job, as I did have to charge it in 3 times during the 30-day testing period. The pretty shiny RGB effects were flashing at all times, so it might last longer if you turn them off, and I am sure this here keyboard can go on for over 400 hours without needing a charge. Charging is simple as beans. Connect it to your PC with the provided cable, and boom, you're done. In terms of additional functionality, the keyboard does have a touchscreen panel, which is intended for volume adjustment and battery indication, but you can also add 5 more functions to these beauties through the software. The RGB is wonderful here, and you can tell that Asus truly went all out with the diodes and the quality PBT keycaps. Now, some of you could probably tell these were PBT caps due to how they look, but for the uninitiated, the PBT caps aren't used that frequently, but they are top tier alongside the palm caps. The font of the keyboard is one of those you either love it or you hate it moments, as it does look cool, but it might be too kitschy for some. Now, for the keycaps themselves, and there's no denying it, Asus spared no effort to bring us quality in the first place. I personally prefer the Cherry Amex Reds, which came with my version of the keyboard, but you can find the Falchion with brown and blue cherry switches as well as kale silver switches. You might want to try all of them before buying the keyboard though, as each switch color offers a different feel and sound. Asus could have done a better job with the stabilizers within the keyboard, as they offer little to no response, and I can't recommend this to those of you who, like myself, like the feeling of pressing the space and enter key a tad harder. The software is a must if you truly want to experience the keyboard, and Armoury Crate offers quite a few customization options and features. Firstly, you can bind keys, and for the hackermen among you, add scripts to certain keys on your keyboard. You can also play with the lighting effects all day long, check the battery, and set the sleep timer. There's another important thing that can't be left out, and that's the angle of the keyboard. The Falchion is a DCS keyboard, which means the keycaps are angled a bit differently. I won't be delving into that topic for now, as it's not a deal breaker in my opinion, but if it concerns you, I'll leave a link in the description. Now, let's get down to testing the keyboard, and I can say that I truly tried it in every possible scenario. The main purpose of the keyboard, of course, is gaming, and it simply did a stellar job. I had absolutely no trouble in command-intensive titles, such as World of Warcraft. I could easily perform 20-ish actions with my character, so I don't think anyone will have a problem while gaming. The board is really precise, so you won't accidentally send your private photos to the wrong address, and I could notice no delay difference between the wireless and wired mode, and let's not kid ourselves, this is the main reason for purchasing this board. Web surfing was also a breeze, but I simply cannot recommend it for those who want productivity, especially in office tasks and programs in the Microsoft suite, and it did take me a while to get used to it while editing this video. The exclusion of the numpad can be a huge drawback, though not a deal breaker for most folks. To conclude, the keyboard performs brilliantly in most aspects. Everything about this keyboard, from the build quality, battery life, and RGB effects, evokes amazement. I've seen way better stabilizers though, and I'm still uncertain how easy it would be to change enter, space, and the shift caps. That's it for this one. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and ring the bell. We truly appreciate the support. See you in the next one and be good. Peace.